Golden temples rise, jasmine scents mingle with food, and where the smile of a stranger feels warmer than the sun itself. Welcome to Thailand, a country that feels like a living postcard, where every moment pulses with beauty, mystery, and life. From bustling cities that never sleep to islands where time seems to stop, Thailand is a place that doesn't just exist on the map, it exists in your soul. And today, we begin a journey into the heart of this Southeast Asian gem, where every corner hides a story and every sunrise feels like a promise. Our journey begins in Bangkok, Thailand's vibrant capital, a city where tradition and modernity meet in a dazzling dance. The first thing you notice is the energy. The streets hum with life. Motorbikes weave through traffic. Colorful tuk-tuks speed past with their rattling engines, and skyscrapers gleam under the tropical sun. Yet, amid all this chaos, you'll find moments of stillness. Slip into the sacred grounds of Wat Phra Khao, the temple of the Emerald Buddha, and the noise of the outside world melts away. The golden spires shimmer in the light, and every intricate detail seems to whisper stories of kings, devotion, and centuries-old craftsmanship. Bangkok is not a city you simply visit, it's a city you feel. Stand along the banks of the Chao Phraya River at sunset, and you'll see why it's called the River of Kings. Boats drift along the water as the horizon turns shades of pink and gold. Across the river, the majestic water rune glows in the twilight, its spires mirrored in the gentle ripples. Here, history is not locked away in books, it breathes through the stones, the water, the air itself. Yet, Bangkok is also a city of flavors. Its food is an explosion of taste, color, and aroma. Imagine biting into a plate of pad thai, the noodles infused with the perfect balance of sweet, sour, and spice, or savoring mango sticky rice under the warm night air as the city hums around you. Street markets like Chatuchak and Yaowarat Bangkok's Chinatown pull you in with the irresistible scent of grilled satay, the vibrant colors of tropical fruits, and the endless stalls selling everything from handmade crafts to rare antiques. But Bangkok's magic is not only in its landmarks or flavors, it's in its people. The Thai smile is more than just a gesture. It's an unspoken invitation to connect, to share, to belong. Whether it's the vendor who serves you steaming noodles at midnight or the monk who blesses you in a quiet temple courtyard, every encounter leaves an imprint on your journey. As night falls, Bangkok transforms yet again. Rooftop bars offer breathtaking views of the city lights, while the streets below come alive with neon signs and the hum of nightlife. You might find yourself wandering into a traditional dance performance, or sitting by the river with a cool drink as the warm breeze carries the scent of incense and spices. Bangkok is a city that never stops moving, yet somehow teaches you to pause and take it all in. It's the heartbeat of Thailand, a place where past and present blend seamlessly, where every sound, scent, and sight tells you that you're in the midst of something truly extraordinary. This is just the beginning of our journey. From here, we'll follow winding roads into the mountains, drift across turquoise waters, and step into ancient worlds preserved in stone. Thailand is more than a destination. It's an experience that will linger in your memory long after you leave. And Bangkok, well, it's the perfect place to start. If Bangkok is the heart of Thailand, then Chiang Mai is its soul, a place where the air feels softer, the pace slower, and the mountains stand like ancient guardians over the land. It's a city that whispers rather than shouts, drawing you in not with noise and chaos, but with grace, warmth, and a sense of timelessness. From the moment you arrive, you can feel the difference. The streets are lined with wooden houses, leafy lanes, and a gentle breeze that carries the scent of frangipani and fresh herbs from bustling markets. Nestled in the lush hills of northern Thailand, Chiang Mai is a living testament to the country's rich cultural heritage. More than 300 temples are scattered throughout the city, each with its own story and character. One of the most iconic is Wat Phra, that doi Suthep, perched high on a mountain overlooking the city. To reach it, You climb a long staircase flanked by the vibrant scales of mythical Naga serpents, each step drawing you closer to a place where heaven seems to touch earth. Once at the top, you're greeted by a golden stupa that gleams in the sunlight, its reflection dancing in the eyes of pilgrims and travelers alike. And when you turn toward the view, the city below, framed by misty mountains, you understand why this temple has been a spiritual beacon for centuries. Chiang Mai is also a city of crafts and creativity. For generations, artisans here have passed down skills in pottery, silk weaving, silverwork, and wood carving. In the old city, narrow lanes hide small workshops where you can watch these masters at work, their hands moving with the precision of tradition. The famous Sunday walking street transforms into a kaleidoscope of colors, sounds, and aromas. Stalls overflow with handmade jewelry, embroidered fabrics, and street food sizzling on open grills. Try the local specialty, Khao soy, a fragrant curry noodle soup with a rich, coconut-based broth, topped with crispy noodles. Each spoonful is a journey in itself, blending Burmese, Chinese, and Thai influences into a single, unforgettable taste. But beyond the markets and temples, Chiang Mai offers something that cities rarely do: an invitation to nature. Just outside its boundaries, emerald rice fields ripple in the wind, and waterfalls tumble down forested hills. Elephant sanctuaries, dedicated to ethical care, give you the chance to walk beside these gentle giants, learning their stories and seeing them roam freely. In the cool season, the mountains turn a vivid green, and the morning air is laced with the scent of pine and earth. Trekking through the hills reveals remote villages where life moves at a rhythm untouched by the modern world, and where smiles come as easily as the laughter of children playing in the fields. At night, Chiang Mai takes on a different magic. Lanterns glow softly against the dark sky, their light reflecting on the ancient moat that surrounds the old city. In November, the Yipeng Lantern Festival transforms the night into something almost otherworldly. Thousands of lanterns float into the heavens, carrying prayers, dreams, and the quiet hope that they'll find their way to the stars. Standing among them, watching the lights drift higher and higher, it's hard not to feel that you're part of something greater, a shared moment of beauty and peace. Chiang Mai is not a place you simply see. It's a place you feel in your bones. It slows you down, makes you breathe deeper, and reminds you that beauty is not always in the grand or the loud. It's in the quiet moments, the soft smiles, and the spaces where time seems to stand still. It's a city that captures your heart, not with a single grand gesture, but with 1,000 small ones, each more precious than the last. As we leave Chiang Mai behind, the road ahead leads us deeper into Thailand's northern landscapes, where history hides in crumbling ruins and ancient capitals lie waiting to be rediscovered. The journey has only just begun, and with every mile, Thailand reveals another layer of its soul. There are places in the world where time stands still, and then there are places where time moves differently, where centuries of history layer upon each other like the pages of an old, weathered book. Ayutthaya is one of those places. Once the glorious capital of the Kingdom of Siam, it was a city of unmatched wealth, power, and beauty. Imagine a time when merchants from Europe, China, Japan, and the Middle East all converged here, bringing with them treasures, stories, and dreams. It was said that Ayutthaya was one of the most magnificent cities on earth, its gilded temples shimmering in the sun, its palaces rising above the Chao Phraya River like visions from a legend. Today, the modern city of Ayutthaya lives alongside its past, but it's the ruins of the old capital that capture your imagination. Walking through the Ayutthaya Historical Park feels like stepping into another world. The air is heavy with the scent of grass and stone warmed by the sun. Towering prangs, ancient Khmer-style spires pierce the sky, while rows of headless Buddha statues sit silently in the shade, their expressions lost to time yet still radiating a strange sense of serenity. Each ruin tells a story not just of glory, but of resilience. The city's rise began in the 14th century, and for over 400 years it flourished. Its temples were adorned with gold, its markets overflowed with exotic goods, and its influence reached far beyond its borders. But in 1767, Ayutthaya fell to Burmese forces, and much of it was burned to the ground. The flames took the palaces, the treasures, and many of its records, but they could not erase its soul. What remains today is not just a collection of ruins, but a reminder that beauty can endure even after devastation. One of the most hauntingly beautiful sights is Wat Mahatha, where the stone face of a Buddha is gently cradled by the roots of a Bodhi tree. No one knows exactly how it came to rest there. Some say the head was left behind after the temple was looted, and over time, nature claimed it as her own. Now, the tree's roots twist and weave around the serene face, as if protecting it from the passage of centuries. It's a sight that leaves you silent, standing in awe of the quiet power of time and nature. Another marvel is Wat Chaiwathanaram, set along the riverbank. Its symmetrical design and towering central prang make it one of the most photographed sights in Ayutthaya, especially at sunset. As the golden light spills across the red bricks, the temple seems to come alive again, echoing with the footsteps of the monks and kings who once walked here. The river beside it flows quietly now, but it once carried boats laden with goods, diplomats, and pilgrims from across the world. Exploring Ayutthaya is more than just sightseeing. It's an act, connection. You're walking the same paths where traders bargained for silk, where elephants once paraded in royal ceremonies, and where prayers rose from temple courtyards into the evening sky. Even the sound of the wind moving through the trees feels like a whisper from the past, carrying fragments of voices long gone. Beyond the ruins, Ayutthaya still holds pockets of living tradition. You can explore floating markets where locals sell fragrant curries, grilled river prawns, and sweet roti Samui cotton candy wrapped in thin crepes, a favorite treat in the region. Boats drift lazily on the water, just as they have for centuries, their colors bright against the green riverbanks. As the day draws to a close, the ruins of Ayutthaya glow in the fading light, casting long shadows that stretch across the grass. The city may have been conquered, burned, and left in ruin, but in many ways, it has never truly fallen. Its beauty remains, its stories endure, and its spirit still lingers among the stones. Leaving Ayutthaya is like leaving a dream. You carry with you not just images of temples and statues, but the feeling of having touched something eternal. Ahead lies a different Thailand, one defined not by ancient capitals, but by the rhythm of the sea, the call of the islands, and the endless blue horizon. The next chapter of our journey will take us south, where emerald waters meet white sands, and where life moves to the slow, steady heartbeat of the ocean. There's a moment when the air changes, when the dry warmth of the mainland gives way to the gentle, salty breeze of the sea. The hum of city streets fades, replaced by the whisper of waves and the distant call of seabirds. And then, you see it. Water so clear it seems unreal, shifting in shades from deep sapphire to bright turquoise. This is Phuket, Thailand's pearl of the Andaman, where every sunrise feels like a fresh beginning and every sunset like a soft farewell. It's a place where the ocean writes its own poetry on the sand, and where the horizon feels infinite. Phuket has long been a crossroads, not just for travelers, but for cultures. Traders from China, India, Arabia, and Europe all left their mark here, shaping its history and its character. Today, that heritage lives on in the colorful streets of Phuket Old Town. Walk along Thalang Road and you'll see rows of Sino-Portuguese shophouses painted in pastel blues, pinks, and yellows. Cafes spill warm light onto the sidewalks, and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingles with the scent of fried spring rolls from the street vendors. Step inside one of the restored mansions, and it's like walking into a time capsule, ornate tiles underfoot, wooden shutters creaking softly in the breeze, and walls that have absorbed centuries of stories. Yet, the true heart of Phuket lies beyond its streets in its beaches and bays. Patong Beach is the island's most famous, alive with music, laughter, and the shimmer of neon lights at night. But if you wander farther, You'll find hidden coves where the sand is untouched and the only sound is the rhythmic lapping of the waves. Kata and Karen beaches offer a softer energy, perfect for watching the sun dip low over the water, painting the sky with strokes of gold and crimson. Freedom Beach, accessible only by boat or a steep path, rewards the adventurous with pristine sands and a sense of seclusion. The Andaman Sea is not just beautiful, it's a gateway to worlds that seem almost magical. From Phuket, long-tail boats and speedboats carry you to nearby islands like Phi Phi, where towering limestone cliffs rise straight from the water, their surfaces draped in green. Maya Bay, made famous by films, is a crescent of white sand embraced by cliffs so high they feel like walls protecting a hidden paradise. In the quieter spots, you can snorkel among coral reefs alive with color, parrotfish flashing emerald and gold, schools of silver fish moving as one, and the occasional sea turtle gliding gracefully past. But Phuket's allure is more than beaches and boats. The island has a soul that comes alive in its traditions. Visit one of the many Buddhist temples, like Wat Chalong, and you'll find incense drifting through the air, monks in saffron robes moving silently through the courtyards, and visitors bowing their heads in prayer. During the annual vegetarian festival, the streets erupt in color and spectacle, with processions, music, and rituals that both amaze and humble. And then there's the food. Phuket's cuisine is a reflection of its history, a fusion of Thai, Chinese, Malay, and Peranakan flavors. Street markets come alive at night, offering everything from spicy tom yum soup to freshly grilled seafood pulled from the ocean that morning. Try mu hong, a slow braised pork dish rich with soy and black pepper, or let the tangy sweetness of pineapple fried rice surprise you. On a warm evening, nothing beats sitting at a beachside table, the sand under your feet, a plate of chili crab before you, and the sea stretching endlessly beyond. As the sun sinks below the horizon, casting the water in shades of molten gold, you begin to understand Phuket's magic. It's not just the beauty of the place, it's the feeling it leaves with you. The gentle exhaustion from a day of exploring, the taste of salt still on your lips, the warmth of the night air on your skin. It's the realization that here, life follows the rhythm of the tides, steady, unhurried, eternal. From Phuket, the journey continues deeper into the islands, where the sea reveals even greater wonders. Ahead lie hidden lagoons, emerald cliffs, and beaches so untouched they feel like the world before the world. In Thailand, the road never ends. It just changes from stone to sand, from river to sea, carrying you always toward the next chapter of discovery. Some places don't just appear on a map, they live in your imagination long before you ever set foot there. The Phi Phi Islands are one of those places. Even before the boat leaves Phuket's shores, the sea begins to change, shifting into impossible shades of turquoise and emerald. The air smells of salt and adventure. Then, slowly, the silhouettes appear on the horizon, giant limestone cliffs rising straight out of the water, their surfaces streaked with green from stubborn plants clinging to the rock. It feels like sailing into a dream, one painted in colors too vivid to be real. There are 6 islands in the Phi Phi group, but Phi Phi Don and Phi Phi Lei are the stars. Phi Phi Don is the larger and the only inhabited island, a crescent-shaped paradise where beaches curve gently into the sea and the pace of life slows to match the rhythm of the waves. Narrow footpaths wind through clusters of shops, cafes, and dive centers, each one inviting you to linger. No cars, no rush, only the sound of flip-flops on sand and the distant laughter of travelers discovering this slice of heaven for the first time. Just a short boat ride away lies Phi Phi Lei, a place so stunning it's almost surreal. Maya Bay, surrounded by towering cliffs, is a pocket of pure magic. The sand here is soft as flour, the water clear enough to see every ripple on the ocean floor. For years, it was closed to let nature recover from heavy tourism. But now, with controlled visits, it feels like the paradise it was always meant to be, untouched, sacred, timeless. Step into the bay, and it's as if the world outside no longer exists. Beyond the famous beaches, The Phi Islands hide treasures for those willing to explore. Viking Cave, with its ancient paintings, speaks of a time when sailors and traders sought shelter here. Hidden coves reveal water so calm and translucent, it's like floating in liquid glass. Beneath the surface, coral reefs teem with life clownfish darting among anemones, barracudas glinting in the sunlight, and rays gliding silently through the deep. For divers and snorkelers, it's a world of endless wonder. From the Phi Islands, our journey curves north and east toward the dramatic coast of Krabi. The approach is unforgettable. Towering limestone karsts rise from the sea like nature's own cathedrals, their sheer cliffs streaked with orange, gray, and white. The closer you get, the more you realize these aren't just cliffs, they're entire worlds. Some hide lagoons accessible only through narrow sea caves at low tide. Others shelter beaches where the sand is untouched except for the footprints of the occasional wanderer. Railay Beach, accessible only by boat, is one of Krabi's crown jewels. It's a place where jungle meets ocean, where rock climbers scale the cliffs while kayakers glide across the crystal-clear shallows. In the early morning, the light filters through the mist, casting everything in a soft, golden glow. By midday, the sea is so bright it almost hurts to look at, and by evening, the sky turns into a canvas of pink, orange, and deep indigo. Krabi is more than just scenery, it's an invitation to adventure. Paddle through mangrove forests where the roots twist and curl like something from a fairy tale. Trek to the Emerald Pool, a natural spring hidden deep in the jungle, where the water is as clear as glass and cool against the heat of the day. Or climb the 237 steps to Tiger Cave Temple, where a giant golden Buddha watches over the land and sea, and the view stretches as far as the eye can see. Yet, for all its beauty and adventure, Krabi also offers moments of pure stillness. As the day fades, long-tail boats return to shore, their engines humming softly over the water. Fishermen mend their nets in the fading light, and the sound of the waves becomes a gentle lullaby. Standing on the sand, watching the last glow of the sun sink behind the cliffs, you realize that this is the kind of beauty you don't just see, you feel it deep within. From here, our path will take us farther down the Andaman coast, toward islands so remote they seem untouched by time, and waters so clear they feel like liquid crystal. Thailand's story is far from over, and each chapter brings us closer to understanding why this land captures the hearts of all who journey here. There's a certain peace you feel when you leave the busier tourist hubs behind, when the boats grow fewer, the waters grow calmer, and the days seem to stretch a little longer. That's the feeling of arriving at Koh Lanta, a long, narrow island where the Andaman Sea meets golden sands and the rhythm of life slows to the pace of the tide. This is not the place for towering resorts or crowded streets. This is where you come to breathe, to let the noise of the world fade until all you hear is the sound of waves lapping gently at the shore. Koh Lanta has a way of making you feel at home almost instantly. The locals greet you with warm smiles, their hospitality as natural as the sea breeze. Small beachside cafes serve fresh coconut water straight from the shell, and hammocks swing lazily under palm trees. There's a sense that time here is measured not by clocks, but by the sun, by the soft light of dawn, the heat of midday, and the golden glow before sunset. The island's west coast is a string of beaches, each with its own character. Klong Dao is wide and family-friendly, perfect for long walks with the sand cool beneath your feet. Long Beach, as its name suggests, seems to stretch forever, its shoreline kissed by gentle waves. And down at the southern tip, Bamboo Bay feels like a secret, its curve of white sand almost always quiet, the surrounding hills wrapped in lush green. Stand here, and you might think you've stumbled upon your own private paradise. Beyond the beaches, Koh Lanta hides treasures inland. The Koh Lanta National Park at the southern end of the island is a place where jungle meets sea in dramatic fashion. A short hike through the forest brings you to a lighthouse, perched high above the water. offering views of the endless horizon. Trails wind through mangroves alive with bird calls, and if you're lucky, you might spot monkeys moving playfully through the trees. Off the coast, smaller islands like Koh Rock and Koh Ha offer snorkeling and diving experiences that feel like slipping into another world. Crystal waters teeming with coral gardens, colorful fish, and the occasional curious sea turtle. Life on Koh Lanta moves at its own gentle pace, but it's not without vibrancy. In the evenings, the island comes alive in a different way. The markets glow under strings of lights, the air rich with the smell of grilled seafood, sizzling skewers, and sweet banana pancakes. Fishermen bring in their catch, and you can taste the ocean's bounty just hours after it's been pulled from the waves. One of the island's specialties is a spicy southern Thai curry, rich, fragrant, and unforgettable. Koh Lanta is also a place where cultures meet and blend. The old town on the island's eastern shore is a living reminder of its history as a trading port. Wooden stilt houses line the waterfront, their porches extending over the sea. Walking here feels like stepping back in time, past small shops selling handmade goods, past fishermen repairing their boats, past families sitting together for evening meals. There's a quiet dignity to the way life unfolds here, shaped by both the sea and the centuries. As night falls, the stars above Koh Lanta seem impossibly bright, reflected in the calm surface of the sea. The gentle hum of the waves becomes a lullaby, and the warm air wraps around you like a blanket. It's in these moments that you realize why people fall in love with this island, not because it dazzles with grandeur, but because it restores something inside you that you didn't even realize was missing. From Koh Lanta, the journey will take us even farther south, to islands that remain almost untouched by modern tourism. Places where the beaches are empty, the waters are clear enough to see the sand beneath, even from the deck of a boat, and the only footprints in the sand might be your own. This is the Thailand that few see, the Thailand that feels like a secret, waiting to be discovered. There's a moment, somewhere far from the mainland, when the water beneath your boat turns into pure crystal. The horizon opens up, and ahead lies a small speck of land, fringed with white sand, so bright it almost hurts to look at. This is Koh Lipe, a tiny island often called the Maldives of Thailand. A place so remote it feels like the edge of the world. It's the kind of island where you step off the boat and immediately feel the outside world fall away, replaced by the steady heartbeat of the sea. Koh Lipe is part of the Tarutao National Marine Park, a protected area of pristine islands and turquoise waters near the border with Malaysia. The island is small enough to walk across in less than an hour, yet every path seems to lead to a different kind of paradise. Pattaya Beach is the island's lively heart, its shoreline lined with beach bars, cafes, and dive shops, all glowing under strings of lanterns as night approaches. But just a short stroll away, Sunrise Beach offers an entirely different mood. Here, the mornings are quiet, the sand untouched, and the water so calm it mirrors the sky. Stand there at dawn, and you'll see the sun rise over the distant silhouettes of uninhabited islands, painting the sea in shades of gold and pink. What makes Koh Lipe special isn't just its beaches, it's what lies beneath the surface. The marine life here is some of the richest in Thailand. Just steps from shore, you can snorkel among coral gardens alive with color. Schools of fish flash silver and blue, while parrotfish nibble at the reef. If you venture farther out with a dive boat, you might find yourself swimming alongside graceful sea turtles, or drifting above dramatic underwater cliffs where soft corals sway with the current. The visibility can stretch for tens of meters, making the underwater world feel endless. The pace of life on Koh Lipe is unhurried, shaped by the tides and the changing light. Days begin with long swims in the warm, shallow waters, continue with lazy afternoons under the shade of coconut palms, and end with sunsets that stop you in your tracks. On clear nights, the stars seem close enough to touch, and the gentle hum of waves against the shore becomes the soundtrack to your thoughts. Yet, for all its beauty, Koh Lipe also carries a sense of fragility. Being part of a national park means there's a deep respect for nature here. Local guides remind visitors not to touch the coral, to take their trash with them, and to treat the island as the treasure it is. The people of Koh Lipe, many of whom are Chao Lei, or sea gypsies, live with a closeness to the ocean that shapes every aspect of their lives. Their fishing boats, painted in bright reds and blues, are as much a part of the scenery as the beaches themselves. Exploring beyond Koh Lipe reveals an entire archipelago of untouched beauty. Koh Adang, just across a narrow channel, rises steeply with dense jungle and offers hiking trails that lead to panoramic viewpoints over Koh Lipe's crescent beaches. Koh Tarutao, the largest island in the park, is wild and rugged, with long empty beaches, mangrove forests, and a history as a former penal colony. And scattered among them are dozens of tiny, uninhabited islands, mere strips of sand and rock where you can feel like the first person to ever set foot there. In the evenings, Koh Lipe comes alive in a gentle, glowing way. The walking street, a sandy path lined with small shops, street food stalls, and restaurants fills with the aroma of grilled seafood, fresh pancakes, and spicy curries. You can sit at a beachfront table with your feet in the sand, a plate of chili crab before you, and watch the fishing boats head out for the night under a sky of silver moonlight. Koh Lipe is not just a place, it's a reminder of how the world once was. Unspoiled, quiet, connected to nature in a way that feels almost sacred. As you leave, the island stays with you, the clarity of its water, the warmth of its people, the memory of nights when the stars seem to fall into the sea. From here, the journey will turn north again, away from the Andaman and toward the Gulf of Thailand, where a new set of islands await. Ahead lies a world of coral reefs, jungle-covered hills, and the rhythm of another sea, a different kind of paradise, yet no less magical. There's a shift you feel when you leave the Andaman coast behind and cross to the Gulf of Thailand, a softer light, a different rhythm, a sea that seems calmer yet just as alive. The first island to greet you is Koh Samui, the largest in the Gulf, and a place that seems to hold every version of paradise in one place. From palm-fringed beaches to forested hills, from bustling markets to hidden waterfalls, Koh Samui is a world that can be as lively or as peaceful as you wish it to be. Koh Samui's beaches are its crown jewels. Choing is the island's vibrant heart, a long curve of soft white sand lapped by turquoise water, where resorts and beach bars pulse with energy from day into night. But wander a little farther, and you'll find Lamai, with its more relaxed charm, or Maenem, where the sand is quieter, the pace slower, and the sunsets turn the sky into a masterpiece of fire and gold. Inland, the jungle hides treasures of its own. Namwang waterfalls tumble down purple-hued rocks into natural pools, and viewpoints like Lad Koh offer sweeping panoramas of the coastline. Yet Koh Samui's magic isn't just in its scenery, it's in its spirit. Visit Wat Plai Liam, where a giant white statue of Guanyin, the goddess of mercy, stands surrounded by a lotus-covered lake, her many arms outstretched in compassion. Or climb the steps to the big Buddha temple, where a 12-meter golden statue watches over the island, gleaming in the sunlight. In the evenings, Fisherman's Village in Bofu comes alive with the scent of grilled seafood, the hum of conversation, and the gentle lap of waves just steps away. From Koh Samui, the sea carries you north to Koh Phangan, a name that, for many, is synonymous with the legendary full moon party. Once a simple gathering of travelers under the moonlight, it has grown into a world-famous celebration that draws thousands to dance on the sand until dawn. But beyond the neon lights and music, Koh Phangan holds a different kind of beauty. Much of the island is still wild, with secluded bays, lush hills, and a sense of serenity that can surprise you if you only know its party reputation. Ha Duan and Ha Duan Noi beaches are quiet escapes, their sands often nearly empty except for the occasional hammock strung between palms. Inland, hiking trails wind through the jungle to hidden waterfalls and viewpoints that reveal the island's rolling, green hills. In the north, the small fishing village of Chalaklum offers a glimpse of a slower way of life, where wooden boats bob gently in the bay and the air smells of salt and grilled fish. A short boat ride from Koh Phangan lies Koh Tao Turtle Island, a diver's paradise where the underwater world is as captivating as the one above. The island's coastline is dotted with small bays, each offering something unique. Seri Beach is the social hub, perfect for sunset walks and lively dinners by the shore. But the real magic of Khao lies beneath the waves. Dive sites like Chum Phon, Pinnacle, and Sail Rock are alive with schools of barracuda, reef sharks, and the occasional whale shark gliding gracefully past. Even for those who stay at the surface, snorkeling at spots like Shark Bay reveals vibrant coral gardens and curious sea turtles. Khao has a way of making every day feel like an adventure. Mornings might start with a dive or paddleboard session, afternoons with exploring hidden coves, and evenings with a barbecue on the beach under a sky ablaze with stars. It's a place where the sea feels close in every moment, its colors and sounds wrapping around you like an embrace. Together, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao form a trio of islands that each tell their own story, one of energy, one of balance, and one of exploration. They share the same sea, the same sunsets, and the same warm Thai hospitality, yet each holds a different kind of magic. From here, the journey will leave the islands behind for a time, heading back to the mainland to discover the cultural treasures of central Thailand. Ahead lie ancient towns, sacred temples, and the quiet beauty of river life, a different side of the country, yet one that's just as unforgettable. When you leave the coast behind, Thailand begins to reveal a different kind of beauty. Gone are the endless horizons of blue water here. The land stretches out in fertile plains, dotted with rice paddies that shimmer in the sunlight. Farmers bend to tend their crops. Water buffalo wade through the fields, and the rhythm of life feels ancient, unchanging. This is central Thailand, the cradle of kingdoms, where history lives not just in books but in the stones, the streets, and the very air. Our first stop is Sukhothai, Thailand's first capital, and the birthplace of its language, culture, and identity. Walking through the Sukhothai Historical Park is like stepping back into the 13th century, when this was the center of a flourishing kingdom. The park is vast, filled with temples, Buddha statues, and lotus-filled ponds. Wat Mahathat, with its graceful kedis and serene seated Buddha, stands at the heart of the old city, its silhouette reflected in the still water. At sunrise, the mist drifts over the ruins, and the golden light catches the stone faces, making them seem almost alive. Sukhothai is more than just ruins. It's a reminder of a time when art and architecture were guided by both devotion and beauty. The kingdom's rulers commissioned not just grand temples, but an entire system of reservoirs and canals to bring water to the city, making it a marvel of engineering for its time. Today, bicycles are the best way to explore the park, pedaling along quiet paths shaded by ancient trees. In the cool of the morning, you might see monks walking barefoot for alms, their saffron robes a bright contrast against the gray stone. From Sukhothai, the road takes us to Lopburi, a city where history and the unexpected share the same streets. Lopburi is famous for two things: its Khmer-era ruins and its population of monkeys. The ruins, such as Phra Prang Sam Yat, date back to the 13th century and feature distinctive prang towers reminiscent of Angkor Wat. They speak of a time when Lopburi was a strategic outpost and a center of trade, but today, it's the monkeys that steal the show. Hundreds of macaques roam freely through the old town, climbing on temples, balancing on power lines, and occasionally snatching snacks from unsuspecting passers-by. The relationship between Lopburi's people and its monkeys is both challenging and cherished. Every year, the city holds a monkey buffet festival, laying out a feast of fruit and vegetables for its mischievous residents. It's a sight both amusing and a little surreal, temples surrounded by tables piled high with food, and monkeys diving in with glee. For visitors, Lopburi offers not just a glimpse into history, but an experience unlike anywhere else in Thailand. The Central Plains are also a place where river life thrives. Towns and villages hug the banks of waterways that have been lifelines for centuries. In the evening, the rivers glow with the reflection of lanterns, and the sound of boat engines fades into the hum of cicadas. Local markets spill over with fresh produce, from fragrant herbs to tropical fruits that taste like sunshine. This is a region where food tells the story of the land-rich curries thick with coconut milk, grilled river fish, and sticky rice served with ripe mango. Traveling through central Thailand, you begin to see how all the pieces of the country fit together. The ancient capitals like Sukhothai gave birth to its traditions. The river towns kept its people connected. The farmlands fed its cities. Every stop tells a part of the story, and together, they reveal the soul of the nation. As the sun sets over the plains, turning the rice fields into a sea of gold, the journey prepares to shift once again. Ahead lies Thailand's mystical north, where mist-covered mountains hold stories of tribal cultures, forest temples, and landscapes that feel untouched by time. The road will climb, the air will cool, and the next chapter will lead us deeper into the highlands. There's a moment, as you leave the lowlands and begin to climb, when the world changes. The air cools, the scent of pine and wildflowers drifts through the open windows, and the horizon is no longer flat but a patchwork of rolling green hills fading into the mist. This is northern Thailand's highland country, remote, beautiful, and steeped in traditions that have endured for centuries. The road to Pai winds like a ribbon through the mountains, each turn revealing a new view. A valley dotted with rice terraces, a waterfall tumbling over smooth rock, a ridge bathed in golden light. Pai is a small town, but it has a way of capturing hearts. Once a sleepy village, it has become a beloved stop for travelers seeking a slower pace and a deeper connection to the land. Its streets are lined with cozy cafes, handmade craft shops, and food stalls serving everything from Thai curry to freshly baked bread. In the evening, the Pai walking street comes alive with the smell of sizzling skewers, the sound of buskers playing under the stars, and the chatter of locals and visitors alike. The surrounding countryside is Pai's real treasure. Just beyond town, the Pai Canyon stretches out a maze of narrow, sun-baked ridges with sheer drops on either side, offering views of mountains as far as the eye can see. Closer to the river, Tha Pai hot springs bubble in the shade of tall trees, their mineral-rich waters steaming in the cool mountain air. And in the distance, bamboo bridges sway gently over the rice fields, leading to tiny villages where time seems to have paused. The road west from Pai leads deeper into the mountains, toward Mae Hong Son, a province, often called Thailand's Land of Three Mists because of the fog that drapes its valleys in the morning, the haze that rises in the afternoon, and the cool mist that settles in the evening. Mae Hong Son feels different from the rest of Thailand, shaped by its isolation and the cultures of the hill tribes who have long called it home. Shan, Karen, Lisu, and Hmong communities live in harmony with the land, their traditions reflected in their clothing, language, and festivals. The town of Mae Hong Son itself sits beside a tranquil lake, its surface reflecting the elegant Burmese-style rooftops of Wat Chong Kam and Wat Chong Klang. At night, lanterns float across the water, and the temples glow warmly, creating a scene so serene it feels like a painting. In the hills beyond, long wooden stairways lead up to hilltop temples such as Wat Phra That Doi Kong Mu, where the view stretches over the entire valley. But perhaps the most unforgettable experiences here are found on the trails that thread through the mountains. Trekking with local guides, you pass through forests alive with the calls of birds, cross rivers on narrow bamboo rafts, and share meals in stilted village homes. Each step brings you closer to understanding the connection between the people and the land. A relationship built on respect, resilience, and the rhythms of nature. Travel in the north is not about rushing from one site to the next. It's about slowing down, watching the mist roll in over the hills, hearing living museum, enclosed by remnants of its ancient wall and a still-flowing moat. It is home to over 300 temples, each with its own story. Wat Phra Singh, with its intricately carved wood and gleaming golden chedi, houses one of Thailand's most revered Buddha images. Wat Chedi Luang, once the tallest structure in the Lanna Kingdom, still stands in majestic ruin, its massive brick stupa weathered yet commanding. In the morning, Monks in saffron robes walk silently along the streets, collecting alms from the faithful in an unbroken tradition that stretches back centuries. But Chiang Mai is not just about the past, it is also alive with modern energy. The city's markets are a feast for the senses. The Sunday walking street transforms the old city into a maze of stalls selling everything from handcrafted jewelry to sizzling street food. The night bazaar, meanwhile, glows with the warm light of lanterns, offering silk scarves, wood carvings, and spicy bowls of Khao soa, the creamy coconut curry noodle soup that has become Chiang Mai's culinary signature. Rising above the city, Doi Suthep Mountain holds one of northern Thailand's most sacred sites, Wat Phra, that Doi Suthep. Reaching the temple means climbing a grand staircase guarded by Naga serpents, each scale glittering in the sunlight. At the top, the golden chetty shines against the sky, and the view stretches out over Chiang Mai, especially magical at sunrise or sunset, when the city below glows softly in the fading light. Traveling north, the road leads to Chiang Rai, a quieter, more introspective counterpart to Chiang Mai, yet equally rich in culture. Here, creativity takes center stage in ways both traditional and wildly imaginative. The most famous example is Wat Rong Kun, the White Temple, a surreal masterpiece by artist Chalermchai Kosipipat. From a distance, it gleams like ice in the sun, but up close, its intricate carvings reveal a mix of Buddhist symbolism and unexpected modern references. It is a temple unlike any other in the world, a fusion of spirituality and contemporary art. Chiang Rai is also home to Wat Rong Swea Ten, or the Blue Temple, where deep sapphire walls and golden details create a dreamlike atmosphere. Nearby, the Black House, or Bon Dam Museum, offers something entirely different, an unconventional collection of dark-toned buildings filled with art, sculpture, and artifacts that reflect both beauty and mortality. Beyond its artistic landmarks, Chiang Rai opens the door to the Golden Triangle, where Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar meet along the Mekong River. This borderland has a complex history, once infamous for its opium trade, but now transformed into a region of cultural exchange and scenic beauty. Standing on the riverbank, you can gaze across 3 countries at once, the water flowing endlessly between them. Both Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai offer more than just sights, they offer experiences that stay with you. Learning to cook local dishes with a family in their home, wandering through tea plantations where the morning fog curls between the rows, watching candlelit processions during Yipeng, when thousands of lanterns float into the night sky, carrying wishes toward the heavens. Here in the north, the pace slows and the meaning of travel deepens. You begin to realize that Thailand's magic is not just in its landscapes, but in the way its people honor their heritage while embracing change. In the north, the old ways are not relics, they are living, breathing parts of everyday life. As we leave Chiang Rai, the journey will take us further east, toward lands where mountains meet rivers, where legends are told in the patterns of silk, and where Thailand's connection to its neighbors shapes its way of life. Ahead lies Isaan, the country's northeast, remote, resilient, and full of stories waiting to be told. The road eastward brings you to a part of Thailand that feels like a world of its own. Isaan, the vast northeastern region, stretches toward the Mekong River and the borders of Laos and Cambodia. It is a land shaped by resilience, where dry seasons can be harsh and traditions run deep. Here, the pace is slower, the smiles are just as warm, and the landscapes shift from golden rice fields to dramatic sandstone cliffs, from sleepy river towns to temples older than the Thai kingdom itself. You know you've reached Isaan when the road becomes lined with cassava farms, and the scent of Isaan is also home to temples unlike any in the rest of Thailand. Wat Phu Tok, in Bueng Kan province, is one of the most striking, a wooden walkway clinging to the side of a massive sandstone mountain, spiraling upward through the forest until it reaches a viewpoint high above the treetops. Each level of the walkway represents a stage of Buddhist enlightenment, and climbing it is both a physical and spiritual journey. The culture here is as rich as the land itself. Isaan is famous for its food, a fiery mix of flavors that wake the senses. Som tam, the green papaya salad, comes here in its boldest form, pounded with chilies, lime, and fermented fish sauce. Grilled sticky rice, spicy lab salads, and sizzling skewers of marinated meat fill the air with aromas that make every roadside stop an irresistible temptation. Meals are often eaten together on mats, with friends and family sharing from communal dishes. Festivals in Isaan are equally unforgettable. In Yasothon, the Rocket Festival sees locals building massive homemade rockets and launching them into the sky to call for rain before the planting season. In Surin, the Elephant Roundup celebrates the region's deep bond with these magnificent animals, featuring parades, performances, and demonstrations of traditional elephant skills. Traveling through Isaan, you begin to see a Thailand that many visitors never experience, a Thailand that feels closer to the earth, to the rhythms. Grilled chicken drifts from roadside stalls. This is the heart of Thailand's agricultural country, where families still gather to plant and harvest by hand. Life here is rooted in community festivals, temple fairs, and evening gatherings where neighbors share meals under the stars. The Mekong River is the lifeblood of this region, its wide brown waters marking the boundary between Thailand and Laos. Towns like Nong Khai sit along its banks, where you can watch fishing boats glide silently past as the sun sinks behind the mountains on the far side. At dawn, the river is often shrouded in mist, and the air is cool and still a perfect moment to watch the first light touch both countries at once. One of Nong Khai's most intriguing places is Salakioku, a surreal park filled with massive concrete sculptures inspired by Buddhist and Hindu mythology. Towering multi-headed serpents, giant deities, and elaborate carvings stand like guardians in the open air. Walking among them feels like stepping into another world, one shaped by dreams and legends. Further south, in Ubon Ratchathani province, lies Pha Tame National Park, an extraordinary landscape where sheer cliffs rise above the Mekong, and ancient rock paintings, some over 300 years old, tell stories of the people who once lived here. The view from the cliffs at sunrise is unforgettable. The river glowing gold, the forest below coming alive with the sound of birds, and the Laos hills stretching endlessly into the distance. Of planting and harvest to the pulse of the river. Here, the beauty is not in towering skyscrapers or crowded beaches, but in the quiet dignity of the land and the people who call it home. As we turn southward, the landscape will shift once again. From the wide open plains of Isaan to the lush tropical forests and shimmering coastline of southern Thailand. Ahead lie emerald waters, limestone cliffs, and islands that seem to float in the sea like pieces of paradise. As the train of mountains and plains fades behind us, the air changes warmer, saltier, heavy with the scent of the sea. We've reached the Andaman coast, where Thailand's shoreline becomes a living postcard. This is a world of turquoise waters, limestone cliffs that rise like ancient giants from the sea, and islands so beautiful they almost feel unreal. It is here that the ocean writes its own story every day, with waves carving caves, tides shaping beaches, and sunsets painting the horizon in gold and crimson. Krabi is our first stop, and it feels like stepping into a dream. The town itself is small, but its surroundings are pure magic. Towering limestone karsts frame hidden lagoons, their sheer walls draped in vines. Railay Beach, accessible only by boat, is a place where time slows. By day, it's a playground for rock climbers scaling the cliffs, kayakers paddling through mangrove forests, and sunbathers stretched on powdery sand. By night, the stars take center stage, and the sound of gentle waves replaces the hum of the world beyond. Then there's Ao Nang, Krabi's lively seaside strip, where long-tail boats line up like sentinels waiting to ferry you to nearby islands. Each ride feels like an adventure into a painting, Poda Island, with its solitary rock rising from the sea. Hong Island, with a hidden lagoon that glows emerald when sunlight touches the water. And Chicken Island, whimsically named for its beak-shaped rock formation. From Krabi, the journey flows toward Phuket, Thailand's largest island, and one of its most famous destinations. Phuket is a place of contrasts. Its beaches range from secluded coves to lively stretches like Patong, where nightlife pulses until dawn. Beyond the tourist bustle, there's an older soul to Phuket, its historic old town, with pastel-colored Sino-Portuguese buildings, bustling markets, and tiny cafes serving fragrant kopi coffee. Inland, green hills hide waterfalls and viewpoints where the island and the seas seem to merge into endless blue. Phuket is also a gateway to the Similan Islands, where coral reefs teem with marine life, and to Phang Nga Bay, where limestone cliffs rise vertically from calm, glassy waters. The bay's caves and hidden lagoons invite quiet exploration by kayak, and places like James Bond Island, a needle-shaped rock made famous by film, are reminders of how deeply this region captures the imagination. But the jewel of the Andaman may be found further out, between Phuket and Krabi, the Phi Phi Islands. The crunch of dry leaves underfoot, and tasting fresh tea grown on the slopes. It's about nights spent around a small fire, sharing stories under skies so clear you can see the Milky Way stretching from one horizon to the other. Here, in the cool air of the highlands, Thailand reveals a side of itself that feels timeless. It is quieter, more introspective, yet no less captivating than its bustling cities or sunny beaches. The north invites you to breathe, to listen, to notice the details, the sound of wind in the bamboo, the curve of a handmade basket, the smile of a farmer offering you a piece of fruit from his orchard. As we leave Mae Hong Son behind, the road will turn toward one of Thailand's most beloved cities, a place where ancient walls enclose a world of temples, markets, and cultural treasures. Ahead lies Chiang Mai, the Rose of the North, where the old and new meet in a vibrant blend of tradition and creativity. As the road winds down from the highlands of Mae Hong Son, a new city begins to emerge, a city surrounded by mountains, framed by a square moat, and crowned with a history that spans over 700 years. This is Chiang Mai, the Rose of the North, a place where ancient temples rise beside bustling markets, where tradition blends seamlessly with modern creativity, and where the scent of incense lingers in the air long after you leave. It is both a cultural heartland and a gateway to some of Thailand's most remarkable landscapes. Chiang Mai's old city there is a moment as your boat approaches, when the cliffs seem to close around you, and the turquoise sea glows brighter than you thought possible. Phi Phi Don, the larger island, is alive with energy, beachside bars, diving schools, and restaurants spilling music and light into the warm night air. Phi Phi Lay, the smaller and uninhabited island, is a sanctuary of raw beauty. Maya Bay, with its crescent of white sand and crystal clear water, feels like a secret, even though it's one of the most photographed places on Earth. Under the surface, the Andaman is another world entirely. Coral gardens bloom with color, schools of fish shimmer in the sunlight, and sea turtles glide with an ancient grace. Divers speak of encounters with whale sharks, of descending into caverns where shafts of light dance on the walls, of feeling time disappear beneath the waves. Yet perhaps the most powerful memory the Andaman leaves is not just of its beauty, but of its rhythm, the slow rocking of a boat as you drift toward an island, the call of seabirds overhead, the feeling of warm sand between your toes as the sun dips low. Here, life is measured in tides and sunsets, not in hours. From the shores of the Andaman, our path will soon curve eastward across the Malay Peninsula to another ocean entirely, the Gulf of Thailand. There, the islands take on a new character, the waters turning a different shade of blue, and the culture blending with influences from centuries of trade. Ahead lie Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao, the jewels of the Gulf, each with a story all its own. Crossing the narrow waist of the Malay Peninsula, the land gives way again to the sea, but this time, it's a different ocean. The Gulf of Thailand spreads out before us, calmer and warmer than the Andaman, its waters a deep, tranquil blue. Here lie 3 islands, each with its own personality, its own rhythm, yet bound together by the same tropical magic that makes them irresistible to travelers from every corner of the world. Koh Samui is the largest, and arriving here feels like stepping into a perfectly balanced paradise, part resort haven, part cultural heartland. Palm-fringed beaches stretch for miles, where hammocks sway lazily between coconut trees. Chawang and Lamai offer lively nightlife, with beach bars glowing under strings of lanterns, while Fisherman's Village in Beaufort charms with wooden shop fronts, seafood restaurants, and the smell of grilling snapper wafting through the warm evening air. But Koh Samui is more than just sand and sea. Inland, the island hides waterfalls like Nam Wang, where cascades tumble into natural pools, perfect for cooling off after a jungle hike. Temples stand proudly on hilltops, their golden statues catching the sunlight. The Big Buddha, seated, serene, and towering over the coastline, is one of Samui's most iconic sights, watching over the island with a peaceful gaze. A short ferry ride north brings us to Koh Phangan, famous worldwide for its full moon party, where the beach becomes a kaleidoscope of neon paint, pounding music, and dancing under the stars until sunrise. Yet to think of Koh Phangan only as a party island is to miss its quieter soul. On the island's north and east coasts, hidden bays like Bottle Beach and Hajiwan offer tranquility, where the only sounds are the rustle of palm leaves and the gentle lap of waves. The island's interior is a lush tangle of rainforest and hills, dotted with yoga retreats, meditation centers, and small communities where life flows at a gentle pace. Here, the air feels heavier with the scent of frangipani, and the rhythm of the island slows your heartbeat to match the tides. And when the moon is full, the island transforms again, proving it can hold both peace and wild celebration in equal measure. Sail further north, and the sea deepens to a shimmering sapphire. Koh Tao, the smallest of the three, appears on the horizon like a secret waiting to be discovered. This is Thailand's diving capital, a place where the underwater world is as captivating as the one above. Beneath the surface, coral reefs teem with parrotfish, angelfish, and the occasional graceful turtle. Swim through underwater arches, explore pinnacles that rise from the depths, and, if you're lucky, share the water with a gentle whale shark. Above water, Koh Tao is a blend of relaxed beach, life, and adventure. Serene Beach is the island's social heart, a long curve of sand dotted with restaurants and dive shops where evenings melt into glowing sunsets over the Gulf. The island's hills hide lookout points like John Suwon Viewpoint, where you can stand and see the twin bays stretching out like two arms embracing the sea. Each of these islands, Samui, Phangan, and Dao, has its own way of capturing you. On Samui, it might be the soft luxury of a seaside villa. On Phangan, the feeling of sand still warm under your feet as the sun rises after a night of dancing. On Tao, it's the memory of drifting in silence under the waves, the world above forgotten. The Gulf of Thailand's magic lies in its variety. Each island, a different chapter in the same story. Each tide carrying a new possibility. As you leave by boat, watching their green hills fade into the horizon, you realize that these islands are not just places on a map. They are moments, sunsets, laughter, shared meals, the salty breeze at dawn that stay with you long after the journey moves on. Ahead, our path will take us inland once more, toward the wild, untamed beauty of Thailand's national parks and mountain ranges. From dense rainforests alive with the call of gibbons to towering peaks where clouds drift below your feet, the heart of Thailand's wilderness is waiting. Deep in Thailand's heart, away from the glittering islands and bustling cities, lies a wilder beauty, a land of mountains, forests, and hidden valleys where nature still reigns. These national parks are more than just protected land. They are living, breathing sanctuaries that reveal another side of the country's soul. Khao Sok National Park in the south is a place that feels almost prehistoric. Towering limestone cliffs rise from emerald waters, their sheer faces disappearing into the mist. Longtail boats glide across Chio Lan Lake, carrying travelers past hidden caves and floating bungalows that rock gently with the ripples. At night, the jungle hums with life, cicadas, frogs, and the distant call of hornbills echoing through the darkness. Waking here, surrounded by still water and mountains that glow gold in the morning sun, feels like stepping into a dream you never want to leave. Further north, Khao National Park stretches across rolling hills, grasslands, and dense forest. Wild elephants roam here, sometimes spotted crossing the roads at dawn. Waterfalls like Khao cascade into clear pools, and trails lead deep into the jungle where gibbons swing overhead and the air smells of damp earth and orchids. It's easy to forget the modern world here. The park has a way of pulling you into its timeless rhythm. In the far north, the mountains become sharper, their peaks cutting into the clouds. Inthanon, known as the roof of Thailand, rises above them all. At its summit, the air is crisp and cool, and views stretch endlessly over forested ridges. Here, two majestic pagodas stand side by side, honoring the king and queen of Thailand, their golden spires gleaming against the sky. On the slopes below, hill tribe villages nestle among terraced fields of rice and vegetables, their way of life shaped by the land and the seasons. Even more remote is Mekong Sun Province, where winding mountain roads lead to hidden valleys and serene lakes. In the town of Pai, fields of yellow sunflowers sway in the breeze. Hot springs bubble beside bamboo groves, and the sunsets paint the mountains in fire and gold. It is a place where time feels slower, where travelers come for a few days and often stay for weeks, drawn by a peace they can't quite explain. Thailand's wilderness is not just a backdrop, it's a living part of its culture. For centuries, forests have been a source of food, medicine, and spiritual inspiration. Temples deep in the jungle still serve as retreats for monks seeking solitude, their prayer bells ringing softly among the trees. In these places, the connection between people and nature is not a choice, it is life itself. As the journey through Thailand comes to a close, the memories form a tapestry of moments. The golden glow of Bangkok at night, the calm of a morning market by the river, the taste of mango sticky rice eaten in the shade of a palm tree, the laughter of strangers who feel like friends. From the mountains of the north to the turquoise seas of the south, from the ancient ruins to the neon-lit streets, Thailand is a country of contrasts, but its heart beats with one rhythm: warmth. Traveling here is not just about the sights. It's about the feeling you carry with you long after you've left. The way the air smells after a rainstorm in Chiang Mai, the sound of waves breaking against limestone cliffs in Krabi, the sight of monks walking barefoot at sunrise, bowls in hand, collecting offerings. These are the threads that weave into your memory, that call you back even before you've gone. And perhaps that is Thailand's greatest gift. It doesn't just give you a journey, it gives you a longing to return. To walk again through bustling markets, to sit quietly on a mountain ridge, to dive into warm seas under a sky so wide it makes you feel small. In the end, Thailand isn't just a place you visit. It becomes a part of you. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels and see you in the next video.